Now, so taking a look at the car hunt Riot then for the SCG 003S. Cool named car, but yeah, really cool type of car. I'm currently around the 300 mark in this, and I work out that there's about 500 or so in the top 5%. So yeah, if you want to get yourself some epic import parts for this one, you need to be coming in at close-ish to the top 500 anyway. My version of this car is missing 4 epic imports, and yeah, they're missing off top speed and handling. I don't think I've got any. No, it is just like 0 of 2 in the top speed and handling. The start of this track is really important. Also, this track has a ton of like long straights, so missing the top speed epics probably isn't the best of ideas. But yeah, say at the start here, when you're on this platform, do not hold the accelerator like you would in most races. You just want to make sure and leave off the accelerator until the car goes flat. So drop and then accelerator. Don't like accelerate early or you'll bounce a small bit, and yeah, jump off that platform and just try and wait here to get the yellow nitro so that you can get a shockwave off that first ramp. I'm gonna make sure and bring it out here so you can shockwave back onto the straight. Then you need to be kind of bringing this car as close to the 226 miles an hour cruising speed that it can do for as much of this race as possible. If you want to leave off the 360 and stuff with this one, you can actually do a fairly decent time with it. Just, yeah, like I said, the main goal on this track is get the car as close as possible to the top speed and just leave it at that. Like, this thing's handling is tragically bad, so if that means playing it safe, go for it. Just try and build up enough for a shockwave here and go high over the... or... just as long as you don't go too deep in the grass on the nitro, that's fine. Yeah, you want to usually go high there over that hotel as far as possible, and just keep up the nitro here. Then try and avoid skidding too much on this corner if you can. Just cruise it around. Yeah, it should be able to go around that corner, not at top speed, but close to top speed. And I know some people go up high here and cut this corner short on the ramp. I find that it works out just as well in this car really to avoid that ramp. I'm just going to ride the rail here as much as possible towards the finish. Yeah, lock the car towards, again, like, it's just that 220 miles an hour top speed is fantastic. You don't want to be like risking that too much with jumps where you can avoid it. 0.276. Nice! You shaved like half a second off, so usually a half a second into the top 400 is fairly decent for yeah, these. But like, see, the AI actually thumped into me still at the starter. They are crazy, but once you do that thing I was saying at the start where you basically just like don't yeah, accelerate immediately, you should be able to get in front of that AI before you get to the bottom of that hill. And yeah, just like you see the cruising speed is 226, and just try and keep it like as straight as possible. Again, like down here, you can leave off doing those 360s if you want and just try and keep the car straight and at that 226. Like, the difference you gain is very minimal, and you do get a good bit by bouncing it across there because you can keep the car like 250-ish miles an hour when it's yeah, in air. Or well, you can go up to about 300. It's 50 miles an hour, usually more than the thing. That ramp though, like, you want to try and get higher than that realistically so that you avoid going into the grass. But yeah, as long as you're in the nitro state, it's not too bad. Let's see, where does that put me? 175 out of 500. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna risk dropping down with that, but yeah, you can see like that car is fantastic at like what it does, which is amazing nitro, amazing like top speed, and amazing acceleration. Just don't expect it to turn any corners without dropping speed. You need to have a nitro bar for that. Let's see, how are people doing? Bones! I've got an injured crewman. KS Gentleman, KS Ralph, right next to each other. Neo Proxy. Grats guys on being... wow, those times are so tight. It's all like within the 0.2 or 0.2 of a second. But yeah, like, this is a track where there isn't too much you can really do. I think you can go up and over, like I said, towards the end, but yeah, I found it just like a bit too costly, just in terms of the actual, yeah, like getting caught and clipped off the wall and stuff. And anything where you risk losing that top speed, it's not worth it if it doesn't pay out like a good bit at a time, unless you want to be doing this loads and loads of times. I mentioned missing epics, by the way, on my car, so yeah, 0 out of 2 in the top speed, which sucks in Himalayas. And yeah, 0 out of 2 in handling as well. That makes no difference whatsoever to the SCG 003S. It wouldn't turn better with that, realistically. This car's handling is just too low. Pumping the epics into that wouldn't have made any difference. But like, it's such a cool car all the same. Like, I just love the look of this thing. It really is so cool. It's like, if you were designing a sports car, like, this is exactly, I think, what I would make. Just something insanely fast. And yeah, for its class especially, like, the SCG is like not one to be overlooked because of that. Like, that top speed puts it in line with, say, like the FXK or the McLaren Senna from the S class of cars. I do think it is like a small bit of an oversight by the creators of this one that it doesn't handle it all. Like, its handling is just atrocious, and if you run this across grass and you're not in a nitro state, like, the thing is just gonna drop straight down to 120 miles an hour. Like, it does just shave off speed so quickly. And the same as well, if you like drift this around the corner, you pretty much need to have enough nitro to come out of that corner with a shockwave. Like, as high as the acceleration stat and the nitro are, like, it's just not good enough. If you drift around the corner in this and use a regular nitro or even the orange nitro state, you just won't regain that 226 miles an hour top speed. So if you are throwing this into something where, like, you know you're going to lose speed out of it, make sure when you come out the other side that you've got yeah, like a nitro shockwave, because it's pretty much essential, like on this course especially. I mentioned there on the back row as well when I was driving around that, like, yeah, going up and over on that ramp, like, you see people do that in multiplayer and things all the time as well, and it can be a potentially shorter track way. And if you're fine with doing it, go for it and try it out. But just see, maybe, like, even if you're going towards it, maybe pause the game for a second, take note of your time, and then see, like, how the end of your track goes. So, like, yeah, just work out the time that it took you to get to that ramp, and then, like, check your clock, see if you save or gain time going that direction at the end. Because yeah, every time I went that way, I was getting a time of about maybe like between a half a second to a second slower. And you see at the top there, it's like I just shaved off a half a second off my time, and I dropped like 300 places down into a safe position for the top 5%. But yeah, said to make this one nice, short, sweet. Hopefully you guys are getting on okay. One of the main things I'd say again is just that very start of the thing. Just if you're finding that at the start of the race you're driving off that ledge and your car is bouncing down on the front wheels a bit, like, yeah, what's happening there is effective. You're driving forward off that platform and then dropping down. Like, whereas what you want to happen is have the change analog stick. Yeah, what you want to have happen is have the car flop down and then just accelerate. Like, if you do it the other way, if you're holding the accelerator to start, or if you use automatic acceleration, don't do that. What will happen is the car will drive forward a bit off the platform, drop down even more, and then just like bounce before it actually gets in place. And I found that if you do let that happen, you will basically end up in a scenario where the AI as well will be right on top of you pretty much all the way down the hill. So yeah, just try that even at the start. That will probably help shave like a half a second off people's time if you're just jamming down the accelerator at the start like you normally would do at a race. Alright guys, I think, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for this. And just, yeah, enjoying the massively great analog control that you can use while you're in the garage to awesomely rotate the car at like maybe 1 degree per minute. But yeah, it's great that we get analog control in the garage, but not analog control in the actual game, because of, yeah, how sensitively you can just hold on the right stick to rotate the cars inside there. Did you even notice that was rotating? Anyway, guys, there's a sub button up there over my head. There's indie or Audi up there where I take a look at small indie titles on the Switch, and yeah, see if they get to stay in the Switch or get booted Audi. And at this side, there's something that the algorithm thinks you'd like for my channel, most likely Asphalt related. Alright, guys, good luck, drive safe, and yeah, good luck getting those import parts in this one.